what do we expect from New Zealand in the Rugby Championship?
Yes, that's correct.
No, listen, I think it will probably be a little bit different to the challenge that we faced against Wales. I think New Zealand, if you look at the athletes that they have and you look at the skill set they have available to them, it's probably going to be a game that's built around a lot of continuity and maybe moving the ball around a bit. So then again, they don't shy away from set piece battles, which they showed against Ireland. So I think it's going to be a blend of set piece battles and then also probably a little bit more continuity than what we saw in the Welsh series. In saying that, I thought Wales really tested us, especially if you think of the try they scored in Cape Town against us from the restart. I thought they kept the ball alive and kept good continuity going. So I think it's probably going to be a challenge like that.
Ashfaq?
Hi everybody, Jacques. Before the Wales series, we probably didn't have the best prep because we had two teams in the URC final. Now you've got this training camp this week and another week of preparation next week. Does your goals change, or what do you hope to achieve now for the first test against the All Blacks compared to the first Wales test?
I think, Ashfaq, I think our goal is to improve and to get better. I think, obviously, having not played any rugby and Wales were our first game for 2022, you almost get a little bit of a marker of where we are at. And then we tried to build during the Wales series. I think the main thing for us is to control what and to fix things in our game. We weren't perfect against Wales by no means. I think there's a lot of stuff that we have to work on and that we have to improve on. And we had a nice review on Monday, looking and having a reality check of where we are currently at and what we have to improve, what goals did we set in the Wales series, and where did we excel, or in some instances we thought we actually showed some good growth, and then in other instances we obviously didn't show as much growth as what we thought we would have. So it's basically fixing our own stuff.
Craig Gray?
Thanks, Ina. Hi, Jacques. Hi, Lucanio. Jacques, what do you make of New Zealand's staff changes? So close to having been in the team environment yourself, can that be disruptive to a team to shake things up so radically before such big matches?
Yeah, Craig, no, I don't think so. I think if you think back at 2019, I mean, we were Rugby Championship. We were how many games away from the World Cup? I think Swayze. The change of Swayze happened against New Zealand or after New Zealand. So there was two games against Argentina and one game against Japan, and then we went into a World Cup and we got Felix Jones in less than a month. So I guess it is what it is. So you just learn to deal with it.
Yeah, thanks.
Sbu?
Thanks, Zina. How's it, Jacques? How's it, Lucanio? My question is just around the Apelele Fassi being let go back to the Sharks. Are there any particular areas he needs to work on to remain in this group? And do you feel like you have enough to cover for Colby there in players like Kirtley?
Yes, I think, unfortunate for us, we still have a good big group. But we only have 42 players with us, and obviously the two guys that we left out, Apelele and Marcel, to get two injured guys in to see where they are in terms of their rehab, and DUANE and FRANS Steyn. So we basically wanted to have a look at them before we go into the Rugby Championship and before we go on tour in the Rugby Championship to Australia and to Argentina. So both those players, unfortunate. I think well, firstly off field, I thought they served the team well. They understood their roles and their responsibilities, and they did that top notch. On field, obviously, we, like I said numerous times, we have performance analysis after every game, and that is shared with the players after every game. So I think I don't think it's my place to discuss their performance assessment with the public. I mean, you're more than welcome to contact them directly, and they will have they would know exactly, and they can talk to you about it if they want to. But in terms of the rugby stuff, I'm 100% confident that they know if there is gaps in their game, where the gaps is, and what we would like them to work on. And yeah, like I said, I told both players, for us, it's definitely not cheers. For us, it's almost like a pause. You know, we know if there's another injury in an outside back, or if there's another couple of injuries at loose forward, or a couple of injuries in the outside backs, I mean, they just slot straight in. They're two guys that have been with us for quite some time.
Ati?
Afternoon, guys. My question is for Lukhanyo in Xhosa. Lukhanyo, ngicela ukubuza nje bana as a team niziva kanjani njengoku going to ezi-test ezimbini ne-All Blacks, and for wena nje personally bana i-season lena it could be a big season for wena, uziva kanjani, and again uzimisele ngantoni kule season le izayo?
I think team ophelela sikunawendle after sisalo wina i-series ne-Wales, kodwa ke siyayazi i-New Zealand sinetha i-team enkulu kakhulu, and sinetha kuzomele sizimisele siqinisekisile nathi izithemba sikwindawo right. So yeah, ekuzaba lidaba ezabe siwujongile kwicala lesizama uzilungiselela kwenzela so sizokwazi udlala kakuhle ujongana ne-New Zealand kwezi games imbini, and ndicinga mhlawumbi kube sidlala nasekhayeni sinelonela kwicala lethu, singabadlali basikwazi sela kunangangoko. And yeah, kwicala lam mna sinela ndibulela nje ngoba fit, sinela because injury, and ke sinetha sidlali i-sports team zama uzimisela kangangoko unikeza umsebenzi wakho, uza-contributor to a team, and yeah, kwethemba if yenzeka kuhle olo hlobo lapho sinetha umdlalo wam uzakubonakala khona.
Grant?
Thanks, Zina. Hi, Jacques and Lukhanyo. Jacques,
Yes.
just in terms of the two All Black coaching members who were let go, was there any temptation to get them involved as consultants, or is that almost an unwritten rule that you don't go there?
No, it wasn't discussed.
Heinz?
Hi, Jacques and Lukhanyo. I hope you guys are well. Jacques, just in terms of your two veterans who are back, I mean, obviously you wouldn't pick them if they weren't, you know, in good shape and stuff. But I just wanted to hear sort of like in terms of squad dynamics, are those two guys' recent injuries almost like just a timely reminder that those type of bodies do need a bit of management, or is it like when you're in the squad, you still have to go full out?
Yeah, I don't know if the injuries. I think FRANS had a hamstring, and DUANE had a clean out of his knee. So no, I think obviously, if you have a squad that is more of a performing older group, you got to manage. You got to manage their load. I mean, I think if players are 22, 23, they can handle a lot of load. And they just recover a little bit quicker, you know. When you're a little bit older, like most of us, then you do have to look after the bodies. But yeah, so yeah, that's my take on them. And for us, having them in the squad, we got them in to have a look at them, you know. So obviously they've been busy with the rehab, so rather let's have a good look at them under our medical staff and see where they are at, and then we'll make a decision after this incoming leg of the Rugby Championship.
We'll take the last question in English for Ashfaq.
Thanks, Ina. Jacques, just to clarify, so is DUANE and FRANS available for selection or not? Because I haven't played for like a month or a month and a half.
Yes, Ashfaq, I think the main thing is that, they must handle this week's load. We're only on Wednesday, and then we still got Friday to come for us, the training session, and then obviously next week, and then we must make a decision as coaches. So DUANE hasn't had a rugby session with it as yet, so I think it would be tough to get him in the mix. He'll probably still busy with his return to play rehab protocol, if I can put it like that. FRANS is in training session, so he's training with us. He's done last week with the Cheetahs. They started their preseason already, so he's got 1 week under the belt of preseason already, and now this half a week he's done with us rugby wise. But DUANE hasn't been part of the rugby session yet. That's why I say the key thing for us is to get them in to have a look. Where are they at? Where's their conditioning at? Where's their rugby skills at? And to put them in our environment and see how, from a rugby on-field point of view, how do they cope? And then we'll make an informed decision on selection probably next week when we go into team selection, and selection for maybe going forward into the Rugby Championship. We'll make that at the back end of next week. Yeah.
And just Lucanio, Zina, sorry man, just one for Lucanio. You guys had some good moments and maybe not so good moments against Wales, but the All Blacks always a big one, and you guys seem to lift your game, won a few times now in New Zealand and drew as well. Yeah, what does it mean to you to face the All Blacks next week?
I think, facing the All Blacks, I think it's one of the teams where you have to be on your A game all the time. I think from us as a team, we've tried, preparing as much as we can. We all know that we'll be facing a different threat compared to Wales. So we're busy doing our prep, and we're trusting that will put us in a better place for the test next week.
Percy will give you 2 Afrikaans questions, and then Nathan, your last question to Lucanio.
Zina, thank you so much for this opportunity. Good afternoon, Jacques. Good afternoon, Lucanio. Good afternoon, colleagues. Jacques, dit is nie aldag dat ons hoor van 'n Springbokspan uit Mbombela, oftewel Nelspruit. Net kortliks, wat beteken dit om die Springbokke na die mense, na julle ondersteuners daar in daai streek te neem, en hoekom spesifiek die streek nou? Ek vra 'n bietjie weg van die rugby op die veld, maar hoe belangrik is dit om rugby in daai streek na te neem, veral vir julle as Springbokke? En soos Zina gesê, die tweede deel van my Afrikaanse vraag is net 'n soortgelyke vraag soos Craig Ray gevra het. Wat moet ek as Percival Young lees uit die feit dat Ian Foster sê hy's 'n afrigter onder druk, hulle is 'n span met hulle rug teen die muur, hulle kom Suid-Afrika toe om hulle naam en eer te herstel? Wat lees Jacques Nienaber en sy Springbokspan uit daai uitlatings deur Ian Foster?
Percy, die eerste deel is vir ons om Nelspruit toe te kom is altyd dis die eerste keer dat ek hier is met die bokke. So dis vir ons 'n voorreg, en ons het vandag 'n oop sessie gehad hierso in Hazyview, en daar was 'n klomp mense, jy weet, 'n klomp kinders. So ek dink dit is awesome vir hulle om ook hulle sterre te sien, en die mense het ons met oop arms ontvang en buig agteroor om ons te akkommodeer en ons te help, en is regtig besonder om te sien die hoeveelheid ondersteuning wat ons het in hierdie deel van die wêreld. So vir ons is dit spesiaal, en dit is vir ons lekker om rugby na die deel van die wêreld toe te bring, of nasionale rugby of die Springbokke. Dan die tweede deel, ek dink Percy, in terme van die All Blacks of Nieu-Zeelandse afrigters, yes, ons probeer maar wegbly van wat hulle alles sê. Ons almal is maar onder druk, Percy. Dink jy 2 games verloor is jy onder druk, so ja, dit is wat dit is. Ek dink hulle gaan desperaat wees, maar nie, ek dink Nieu-Seeland is altyd desperaat. Jy weet, hulle het baie om voor te speel, net soos ons. Jy weet, ons speel vir ons nasie, hulle speel vir hulle nasie. So hulle gaan hier daartoe kom. Hulle is onder druk, ons is onder druk. Ons probeer maar net na die realiteit te kyk en die goed wat ons kan beheer. Ons kan nie beheer hoe desperaat hulle is en wat hulle alles doen. Ons kan net beheer wat ons kan beheer en ons kan ons desperasie beheer. So en ons fokus maar daarop.
Nathan, last question.
Sithombe sithathu xa ucinga abadlali bezimnyama abadlala esuswini oGuju noThuvasa ninalo icebo labo ayikukhathazi laa nto yongadlali nabo kwi-Super Rugby nova nje umgangatho badlala ngalo.
Ya ndoqala kule Super Rugby. Ndicinga umgangatho webhola odlalwayo ku-Super Rugby nathi sodlulayo kwi-URC I think uhlukile. Kodwa ke loo nto ayithethi ukuthi ukhona ongcono kunomnye. So izabantle kakhulu xa sigagana nalamadoda sike siveshane sivane okokuqala kube singasadlali against each other kwi-Super Rugby. So yeah, izaba lithuba elihle kakhulu elo for thina. Kwaye ke amadoda esembindini abo siyayazi uhlobo umbhoxo awudlala ngayo, kodwa ke ayonto sathi sijonge emagameni kuphela. I think iteam yabo yonke bonoyijonga, ungakhupha uqala kwirenka uyotsho kunumber 15 sileta zawuthi umgangatho wombhoxo wabo uyafana. So yeah, nathi siliqembu sijonge uzilungiselela eziqembu sineda asijonganga amagama sabe sigabane nawo.
Awesome.